Have you ever experienced how your consciousness can alter a serene time into a hurricane of fear in the blink of an eye? One moment you feel okay, and moments later, you're drowning in thoughts about things that could happen in your near or distant future. What if you discovered there's a single, powerful idea that can eliminate worry permanently? A realization so life-changing that it can guide you back to serenity in no time at all, no matter how all-consuming your anxieties seem today. Stick around, because what I'm about to share could alter fundamentally about your relationship with living, particularly relevant if you're 60 plus and experience anxiety as having become your unwanted companion. Derived from compiled scholarly studies undertaken by universities across the globe and public wellness information distributed at no charge by established organizations, this resource was crafted to communicate modern information especially designed for seniors age 60 plus. And before we proceed, if you're facing challenges with uneasy thought processes, rapid-fire concerns, or that perpetual awareness of restlessness in your body, allow me to ask something of you now. Press that subscription button and enable alerts, because this space is devoted to providing useful knowledge that genuinely helps in reality, more than abstract principles that seems nice but provides no help when you're lying awake at the darkest hours. Now, consider this question. When did you last experience a time you experienced true inner stillness? Not simply occupied, not disconnected, but authentically calm. For a large number of us, particularly as we age, it feels like peace is something from bygone days, something we lived with before responsibilities grew overwhelming, before we began fretting about physical problems, physical wellness, relationship difficulties, and the burden of past mistakes about roads not taken. Anxious thoughts become perpetual background chatter, this constant companion suggesting possible catastrophes and doomsday outcomes. But here's what's genuinely true that therapists and awareness scholars have established through prolonged examination. Anxiety cannot exist in the present moment. Read that again. Anxiety cannot exist in the present moment. It simply cannot occur. Nervous energy is constantly related to something that has not occurred yet or what already occurred. It lives entirely in the cognitive territory of what was and what might be, never in the present reality. Reflect on this reality. When you experience anxious feelings, what are you actually anxious about? You're concerned about a physician's visit on your schedule, a conversation you need to have, a pending expense, or you're replaying something from your past, something you did wrong, phrases you wished you'd never spoken, chances you let slip away. Yet at this moment, during this actual second, as you're engaging with this text, are you all right? Not hours from now, not in days gone by, but at this moment. Your cardiovascular system functions, you're breathing, you have life at this second. And in this instant, devoid of the fabricated accounts about past and future, all is actually well. This is the one thought that ends anxiety forever. My being is in the now. 3 simple words. I exist in this present moment. Not I'm heading there soon, not some yesterday place. I am here now. This goes beyond simple positive mindset or some feel-good phrase to write in a journal. This constitutes a primary truth about how worry operates and the power of present moment awareness. When you place your entire awareness to this current instant, when you firmly establish yourself in the here and now, worry evaporates because it finds no foothold. It resembles attempting to fear darkness once illumination arrives. The specter just fades away. Let me relate a narrative about a lady by the name of Margaret, a woman whose story came to my attention from a meditation facility that helps aging populations. At 72, Margaret had endured persistent anxious thoughts for the greater part of her adult existence. After her husband passed away, the nervous energy escalated. She endlessly concerned herself with her physical well-being, about placing strain on her offspring, about depleting her savings, about meeting her end alone. She would rise each day with her chest feeling compressed, her brain already spinning through everything that could go wrong that day. She tried medicinal approaches, she pursued psychological treatment, she attempted perpetual occupation, but nothing provided enduring peace. Then, at one moment, during a particularly bad anxiety attack, her daughter offered a simple question. "Mother, direct your attention to me. Currently, are you safe? Not eventually, not sometime hence, but currently." Margaret interrupted her thinking, directed her attention to her daughter, drew in air, and comprehended that in that specific second, she was genuinely all right. No catastrophe was happening at that moment. The fear related to invented upcoming events, not the present circumstance. That became her breakthrough moment. Margaret began implementing what she labeled her now moment examinations. As nervous energy started building, she would interrupt her thoughts and inquire, "At this point, am I really okay?" And practically without fail, the answer was yes. She was maintaining respiration, she was protected, she was existing. The living present evolved into her shelter, her fixed reference when her brain attempted to propel her into whirlwinds of anxiety. As time progressed, the nervous crises became less frequent, milder, because she became able to intercept herself before cascading into what-ifs and could-bes. She realized that she had a choice: exist in her worried mind about times to come, or inhabit the serene present of this instant. This is what scholarly examination of present focus and now consciousness research has demonstrated. Research from organizations such as Harvard Medical School and the University in Massachusetts have confirmed that present moment exercises, which are primarily practices of being present, can substantially reduce anxious thoughts and tension. Studies have revealed that when individuals condition themselves to maintain present awareness, their brain physically transforms. The emotional alarm structure, the brain structure controlling anxious reactions, turns less sensitive. Simultaneously, areas associated with mental focus and emotional stability evolve to be more powerful. Simply stated, existing in the immediate moment is not simply a thought exercise. It's truly modifying your cerebral structure to be less fearful and more at ease. But here's where most people hit a wall. They suppose staying in the now implies you cannot prepare for tomorrow or draw lessons from yesterday. That's a misunderstanding. Of course, planning is necessary to organize, to keep previous insights. The key difference is whether you're contemplating what's coming from a now-centered perspective or from a space of fear. When you're grounded in the present, you can assess future matters with clarity and make real moves. When you're lost in anxiety, you're merely looping in mental circuits that produce no useful results. A major difference exists between productive planning and fearful obsessing. Planning says, what can I do in the present to organize for what's coming? Nervous obsessing inquires, what disaster may unfold that I cannot influence? One gives you power, the other renders you helpless. If you're getting something meaningful from this, if something connects for you at this moment, post a comment underneath with merely the number 1. Just the number 1. That's how I can tell this wisdom finds people who need it, and it helps this video reach greater numbers who are dealing with fear. And if you're not yet a subscriber, kindly do so now, because we're establishing a community of people who select peace over panic, being present over fretting, and I'd like you to join us. Let me give you a practical tool you can apply right now. The next time you detect nervous energy building, those well-known signals of your torso constricting, your mental state speeding, your body tensing up, try this. Interrupt what you're doing. Place one hand against your heart and one hand on your belly. Close your eyes if you can. Take a slow, deep breath through your nostrils, feeling your belly expand. Subsequently, breathe out gently from between your lips. As you perform this breathing, say to yourself, "My being is here currently. I draw breath. Life flows in me. I am okay right now." Engage in this 5 iterations, 5 breaths, 5 statements of present moment truth. What you're doing is moving your attention from the invented tomorrows your thoughts are constructing and grounding it in the physical sensations of your physical form at this moment. Your breath is always in the actual present. You are unable to inhale past air or oxygen from ahead, just this now breath in this instant. This creates your breathing as the optimal centering tool to return you to the present. Another practice that a lot of people find valuable is referred to as the sensory awareness technique. When apprehension appears, list 5 objects within your sight currently, 4 things you can touch, 3 audible sounds, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This directs your focus into the current instant through your bodily senses, and fear loses its grasp when you're wholly occupied with present sensory experience. Put this to the test. You might be startled how quickly the anxious mental patterns weaken when you're attending to the touch of your feet touching the surface, the sound of birds outside, coffee's taste still in your mouth. All of these are here and now perceptions, and anxious thoughts have no ground to stand on when you're absolutely in the present. I want to talk about a critical issue for individuals age 60 plus. There's often this feeling that we should have mastered this by our